Good morning. Good morning. It's wild, wild Tuesday, election day. My goodness, what's gonna happen? It's anybody's guess, but I'm gonna turn on these lights. One second. Oh, getting the background light. But today I decided to wear my El Salvador shirt. So in case I say the wrong thing about the candidate that you want to win, you know that I'm being unbiased because I'm not allowed to vote. I'm not an American citizen. I got nothing to do with your election, so whatever I say stays between me, and that's just what I think. Don't be mad. You can tell that I am from here, okay? I'm not from the States. So don't be mad at me if I say the wrong thing against the candidate that that you want to win. Regardless of who you think will win or who should win, that is entirely up to you to believe, and I'm not gonna be here trying to correct you. So what I will say is that let's focus on what really matters, which is price. Price, price, price. Price is really the only thing that's gonna tell me what to do in terms of shorting, in terms of a long, and I'm not gonna really care if Trump wins, if Kamala wins. It doesn't matter to me, honestly. I mean, in the sense of the market related aspect, right? I don't really care who wins. I just care about price and understanding where the charts are headed, what's happening, why are we moving, and stuff like that. Besides that, I mean, I do have obviously a personal candidate I would love to see win, but that is regardless of that's beyond the scope of what I'm of this stream right now. But rather, this 48 right now, it's holding. It's enticing me for a long here, but I don't know how I feel about longing right here, right now, because I longed yesterday pre-market open, and it was not the best of kind of choices. Right now, we do have a gap, I think. Let me see. We closed yesterday at 57.47. We're at the 49, so we're slightly higher than yesterday's closing price. Maybe we could come back down to that 47, but we kind of already did there. So I don't know. We'll see. I would long here. Again, it's just the timing of it. I'm not really in love with it. Yesterday I was long around this time, and I'd rather wait for the real volume to come on in. I find it's majority of the time, if I get long right now, yes, it could be a nice push, but we're right before market open, and then we could easily chop back on down and right at market open. So that's kind of the issue here, but I'm looking at a long here. I should have been long from that 48, I think, but I would have been long already. I needed to be long at 48 if I was gonna take this long to be at break even. 47, 50, 49. I mean, I'll be risking 2 points really if we break that low there. Kind of does look a little bearish. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna go on a 2 point stop. It's an aggressive long, but I'm gonna try it. At 2 points, now I'm here adjusting my stop. Right below 47.50. Yesterday's closing price was 47. Then again, I see those candles right there. Good morning, buenos dias. This is an aggressive long. I would probably avoid this one here. I am trading on the combine on this one, so I'm trying to see if I can get this thing done. But I do like it still for a long here rather than a short. Below this level, I'll be shorting probably to the 30s. Anyways, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is what I want to talk to you about. This is what we mentioned yesterday. Okay, this is likely the scenario that's going to happen. I said yesterday, the likelihood is we're going to be ranging between that 25-30, which was a long area for me. And of course, I did not actually long there because I wasn't home. And we got such a beautiful bounce from there. Oh my gosh, it is unbelievable. But that is the low there that has to break in order for me to think that we are going to basically have the next leg on down. Yesterday, we defended it. The Bulls did a very good job. We get back above, and we're below 60 right now. So It's kind of a choppy range between that 57.25.30 area towards the 57.60 area. So that's kind of the playground we are in right now. Up until the elections, I don't think we're gonna be inside this range here after tomorrow or after tonight, depending on what happens and the market kind of wants to do whatever it wants to do. But yeah, yesterday was pretty much perfect, spot on. And how do I know it's spot on and perfect? Well, that's the plan I basically pointed out on the free community yesterday here, talking about that potential chop range there. And in fact, today my plan went out earlier as well, and it's pretty similar because we're in a similar position as yesterday, right? We're in the same kind of spot. We're right below. Well, yesterday we were above 60 at open, but we were basically at 60. And today we're slightly below 60. So 60 is gonna be a resistance level. I keep talking a lot about 60 because it's a key level. It's like a magnet right now, and it's been clear and obvious resistance. It does not take a whole lot of genius to look at it, but rather analyze, like looking at this picture here. Can you argue that that 60 level is going to be some type of resistance? Look, we got the push of 58.50 there, kind of gets denied yesterday after that bounce from the beautiful trap we had to the downside yesterday. Look where we got stuck. Oops. We got stuck right at 58.75, again below 60, right? If we squeeze through the 60, we're taking that resistance back. But again, the idea I'm trying to preach here is you have what's called ranges. The market loves to ping and pong and be in this holding patterns until the range breaks or until the catalyst comes in. Do you remember this box I had here? I said I want to be long instantly here. I even left it right here. This was it. Look at this. Tell me that this is not almost fucking, no bad words. Let's keep it PG. Almost beautiful. Look at it. This is the key level of support that must hold. And tell me that this does not look exactly like every single other one. We have the, the kind of the trapped slightly break below. And then look at it. It even does it again. The V for victory. It's right there. The V for victory. Come on. Look at that thing. It repeats over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Anyways, right now we're in the middle. So that's what's dangerous about this trade here. That you can see, if we understand that 26.30 is the bottom and 60-70 area might be the top. Well, me trading at 50, or where am I long at right now? 40. I'm long currently 49.50. So me at long at 49.50, I'm basically saying to myself that I believe we're likelihood gonna go test that 60 level up there. We're in the middle. I hope you understand that. This is what I mean by it's a risky trade, because we're in kind of the middle range. But nonetheless, it's a trade. I could go break even already if I don't, trust it too much, which I will if we do not break this 51 here right now. But again, it's just, you got to take it level to level. When we're inside choppy ranges, you have to trade level to level. Look at this. This is the daily chart. Oh, I got pulled up for you. Tell me that this is not consolidation. Tell me that this is not accumulation. We have the big leg lower after the breakdown of this key level 58.45. We have the key dump. Now we have the pattern, the holding pattern. Look at how perfect we're ranging. And then obviously later on with the quote unquote elections, right? Well, not quote unquote, that is happening. It's going to be kind of like the fuel. They're going to basically dump the gas on the fire because this is accumulated right now. This is like, picture like a spring. It's like a spring coiling up together right now. And as soon as whoever wins, I don't know, but it's just going to explode. That's my theory. And regardless if Trump wins or Kamala wins, I think the outcome is going to be inevitable, meaning whichever way the market right now is planning to go, whichever way the market or smart money is deciding to either be shorting or piling up long, they're going to distribute as soon as whoever the hell wins. They're going to create volatility, obviously, but I mean, it's already rigged. Like, they know where we're going already. That's my personal conspiracy, okay? You take that with a grain of salt. But what I will say is that it's very easy to kind of know which way we're headed based on price. How do I know that? Well, very simple. You see the break of this lows here? This is the daily candles. Many tests of this 25 and yesterday's low of like 25 something. That's, if this level here fails, we are going down. we are going to be building a nice leg lower. So we don't need to predict if the market is going to dump. Whoever wins, regardless, keep your personal beliefs out of it. We don't give a shit about that when it comes to making money in the market. We don't need to care about that. We need to care about price. We break 25.30, we kind of break down, we back test, and then we go lower. That tells me instantly that we're in a downtrend even further. We are going to be likelihood going lower. If we can defend this level and kind of keep popping up like this, perhaps maybe do one more little trap, little, not big one, we're likely heading on back up to all-time highs. So we don't need to guess, is my point here. Don't try to predict it. I have the crystal ball. You don't believe me? I have the crystal ball. I have it. It's right here. Whoops, wrong one. I was reading UK paper, Financial Times. They estimate 2.2% swing. I mean, I guess so. Yeah, they could. Buenos dias. Good morning. I mean, anything's possible, right? I get what you're saying with the reading from there. I like to kind of not get biased, build a bias. So I don't read anything or anything. Of course, I think I want someone to win, but I mean, I just don't know. Ask the crystal ball what you're gonna have for lunch if you get a good trade. I actually don't eat lunch, so it would have to be dinner. What am I gonna have for dinner? By the way, I did break my fast yesterday at 65 hours. I couldn't do it anymore. I wanted 3 days, so that's full 72 hours, but I did break at 65. I don't know. I think I need to get some electrolytes and stuff without breaking my fast, because I started to feel a little bit dizzy, a little bit like weird, and fatigue and stuff. So I wasn't feeling great. So I had some bone broth and some soup, kind of work my way back into eating solids, right? But yeah, it wasn't fun. I'll tell you that. I thought it would be easier because I've already done 2 days plenty of times, and it's not that difficult. So I feel confident into a third day, but I will ask the crystal ball. If we push past the 5760 level of resistance, do I earn the right to a delicious steak? To a delicious steak. No. What? All right, so crystal ball does not want me to eat the delicious steak. Either way, I don't know if I'm gonna eat steak. I'm gonna eat some pupusas, I think, today. So she's right. All right, let's ask her the $1,000,000 question. Again, look, I'm from El Salvador, okay? I'm a Canadian, El Salvadorian. I'm not an American, okay? So I can ask whatever I want, unbiased, okay? I know you guys might have your beliefs on Trump or Kamala. That's, it's up to you. You can share with me if you want who you think will win or who you want to win, but don't fight about it, right? Again, I'm going to say this, but don't be upset with me. Is my boy Trump going to win? Let's find out. Yesterday, she said yes. Shirley. Oh my gosh, she's so bullish on Trump. Well, 2 days in a row, she says that Trump is going to win. So I'm watching this trade here. I don't know. I'm thinking about kind of locking that in and getting a fresh start or a fresh trade at open here. I don't know. We'll see. I could be at break even, right? That's always an option, but duck it. We're going to let this baby ride. I don't know. He's not my boy. I'm just playing. I don't know. Trump, Kamala, honestly, I think that either way, we're kind of screwed. I don't know. I'll be honest. I mean, I like Trump, but like, come on, it couldn't be anybody else. Like both ways. Kamala is not that great either. Like, both. I think we could do better. No, like as candidates, even I'm here talking like that, but in Canada, it's not far better. We don't have our prime minister's Trudeau. That guy is a disaster. Is a mess. So I'm not one to judge, but I don't know. Either way, whichever way it goes, honestly, when it comes to the charts, like I mentioned, I care about price. It really, I know that some people have things about like if Trump wins, the market might crash, the market might think. I'll give you my conspiracy though. I do think that if Republicans win, the market will probably likelihood probably pull back first and then push forward. Why I believe that, I don't. It's kind of like what happened maybe the last time, if I remember correctly. It was very bullish for the market afterwards when Trump won, but when at first it was kind of bearish. I don't know. Honestly, like I said, it's very tricky. That's what I mean. I don't like playing this game of what's gonna happen if Trump wins or what's gonna happen if Kamala wins. Because that is so out of our hands, you know what I mean? Well, so how the government works in Canada, it's different obviously. Basically, a prime minister does not have a limitation of how many terms they can serve. So we have elections every 5 years and or 4 years after. But basically, he's been in power for 3 terms now, and yeah, like in America, you can only do two terms, right? And this in Canada, you can do more, but it's a little bit different. We have 3 different parties there. Um, and they have obviously the opposition, which is like your Royal Majesty or something like that, because we run by, I don't know. It's kind of tricky, but it's pretty much the same thing. Like we have your Republicans, Democrats, or you have your conservatives and liberals, and NDPs, which are basically liberals. And we also have a Green Party, but my thing is, how do these people vote these people in power? I don't understand. Like, I agree with Warren Buffett. I don't know if you guys heard what Warren Buffett said about how he can fix, I think it was the budget deficits or the overspending in the state. So basically, what Buffett said is that if at any point in time, in any point in time, you have any Congress or you have Republicans or Democrats that basically spend more than the overall GDP of the United States, they are no longer eligible for re-election at that point, meaning they have overspent. Like, and that would create accountability. And I agree with him on that degree. Again, even for Canadians, like if the prime minister, our prime minister Trudeau, has doubled the national debt in his entire in his the 8 years that he's been in office. So meaning 150 years of Canada independence has Canada spent a certain amount of money. And in the past 8 years that this man has been in power, he's spent the same equivalent amount. Isn't that amazing how one man can spend in 8 years what a country has spent in 145 years? I find that pretty amazing. And there's no level of accountability. There's no level of, like someone's going to have to pay back this money. I'm talking only on the money aspect, right? But I mean it. Someone's gonna have to pay back. Who is the question? And we all know who it is. At the end of it, it's gonna be the taxpayer, right? It's not gonna be the wealthy. I mean, they can lie through their teeth all they want. The wealthy, you gotta understand, like these liberals, they have these ideas that they can just tax the wealthy. But the wealthy, they have so much ways to hide their money and like shell companies everywhere. Like, do you honestly not think that these people, they're not just working and paying their taxes? They have so many other layers of way to avoid taxes that it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's like looking for a ghost. I don't know if you can ever quite catch it. The more you modify the tax code, the more these people get creative to avoid it. So at the end of it, it's basically going to be the taxpayer. The government knows everything, man. Last year, when I went to go file my taxes, they knew all my losses. They knew all my wins. They knew everything. And I hadn't even filed it. That's what's pretty crazy to me. All right, I'm thinking about going break even here. I'm not in love with this. Come on, hold that 51. If we don't hold 51, I'm gonna get out of this. We need to hold 51. Hold 51, please, 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 please. But yeah, with regard to your comment, also with the Financial Times, I mean, I don't know, honestly. Could be more, could be less. 2.2 swing. I don't know. But right now, from what I can tell, what I've been reading and looking up on the news, is that it's a very tight race. So we don't know who's going to win. The swing states are very tight. They kind of know which states Trump is going to take, right? They know which states Kamala's going to win. So they're not going to be surprised on those. They're more waiting on, obviously, the swing states that they're uncertain of. It always comes down to the same thing. We will see, though. If you do want to share with me, because I am curious, and you feel like you're okay with sharing, you can type in on the comment. Tell me who you want to win. If you're Team Trump, put it there. If you're Team Kamala, I won't criticize you either. Like I said, makes no difference to me. You know what I mean? That's exactly why I wore this shirt today. I'm like, I know if I come here with with some other shirt, they're gonna say how I'm biased. I got no bias to it. Besides my own personal belief, right? Like, I prefer Trump, but that's not gonna really help Trump in any way, shape, or form. All right, we're holding 51 right now. Be careful. Market's about to open, and of course, we're kind of chopping around this level. This kind of bounce we got here, it's kind of getting faded, so we need to push right through that 53.50 right now for me to kind of be convinced that we are pushing towards the 60. It's a matter of patience. Patience, patience. Come on, baby. I'm for no more taxes and infringement on the Second Amendment. Well, then I think I know exactly who you're for. I think. I don't know. Hey, I don't know how it is there in the States when it comes to the guns, right? I do have a gun license in Canada. Like, I actually, had to get a gun license and pass this test and blah, 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 right? I don't know how it works in the States. Do you need to pass a test and stuff like that to get a gun? I don't know. Maybe I should do some more research, but all right. Don't think this bounce is looking pretty good here. I might lock in the 100 and whatever and then kind of get a fresh start at open. I don't know. We're kind of fine. I'll accept the break even. Okay, I'm a break even. If the market wants to go, you know what I mean, it's gonna go. But at the same time, I gotta acknowledge that we're choppy. You know what I mean? Like, technically, I'm still giving it a 2-point kind of wiggle room. My stop should be at the bottom here, but I don't know. This is kind of the problem that we're right below 60. We're in the middle of the range, which is 30 and 60. We're literally in the middle. So you have to play it safe. But my stop should be down here. It's really a 2.5-point stop that I need here on this trade. We're gonna commit, baby. We're gonna commit. I don't like this half-ass trades, break-even trades. Oh, but they're I'm fighting with myself right now. I don't know if I should go break even or not. We do have that little gap of 47. Let's not forget about that, Leo. There is a little gap of 47. That's where we closed yesterday at. Some states. They stick to the Constitution. That makes sense, I guess. But I would argue I'm with you on that. The First Amendment, freedom of speech. Cannot. I mean, as much as I would not like what a lot of other people would have to say about me, I cannot block them and censor them. You know what I mean? It's just it is what it is. It's freedom of speech, baby. Freedom of speech. The moment we start to lose that is the moment we're all going downhill. Market's gonna open on up, by the way, in a couple minutes. I don't know. These bounces are not looking confident. We gotta break this level right here. If we can break right here, right now, I'm sticking to this trade. All I want to see is that level break right there, 53.50, and I gain some more confidence in this trade. Right now, we're technically 1-1, 3 points. I was risking about 2.5, so I'm a 1-1. But you know what I think about 1-1s. If I'm gonna go 1-1, I'd rather go to the casino. And right now, every day I've been going to parties here, and I mean, might as well do it there. I see a lot of slot machines and stuff like that, right? 1-1s are not my thing. Come on, let's get to that 60, baby. 60 is right there. It's like it's calling it. It's begging for it. Come on. We got 60, 63 resistance, and then after that we have 70. Again, these are levels from yesterday. Like, it should not come to a surprise. Come on, just rip. Look, we're getting stuck again right at 53.50. We just gotta break 53.50. Be careful here. Our market open. Market's gonna open on up in 1 minute and 5 seconds. So careful here. Here we go. We're breaking 53.50. We're breaking 53.50. Now we gotta hold that break through 50.50. 53.50. I get tongue-tied sometimes with all these numbers. I feel like an auction guy. You know those people? When they're doing auctions. Market's gonna open it up in 30 seconds. Get ready. Or 35 seconds. Going once. Going twice. 53.50. Going 4 times towards 656. And then we have 60. Good morning, Ebnar. Good morning. Be careful here. Market's going to open it up in 15 seconds. We could get introduced into some volatility here. So be very, very careful. I could be at break even, but I'm going to be committing to this trade. I'm going to watch the price, how we open on up. And then I might get out. We'll see what happens. Come on, baby. Push. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. One more test of 51. We cannot break below 51. We need to hold 51. We need to hold 51. We cannot break below 51. We're kind of in between that 53, 51. Very tight range. Whenever this thing decides to go, it's going to squeeze because we've been congesting inside this range. 53, 50, 51. That indicates to me a boner candle is incoming, baby. The boner candle, come on, break right through that 50, ducking 6, 56. I'm telling you, I feel like an auction guy. 56. Do I smell 60? Do I hear anybody say 60? Come on. I think ES is saying 56, 60. I think ES can go 56, 60 from this push. Bidding once. Bidding twice. If we cannot push through this 56, I'm going to get out. Going 3 times. Is there a buyer at 56? Come on, 60 sitting right there. Push it, baby. Push it. Push it. Push it. Push it. And I locked it in. Bang, 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 bang. There is the ducking 60. Sold, sold, sold. Boom. God damn it. Beautiful. Like I said, I felt like an auction guy this morning. Look at that. Right through the ducking 60. I don't even know why I took profit early. Fuck. Oh my god, what a boner candle. Look at that. I told you, it's fucking congesting. My spider sense was going off the roof right there. When we're congesting like that, and you can see this ducking game of ping pong. Look at this. Right 53. We kind of get stuck. We bounce right again from 51. Do you think that it was a coincidence that 51 we keep on bouncing like that? No, it's not coincidence. The buyer is sitting right there. He's giving us the hint. We have to wake up and smell the coffee. You know what I mean? It's right. Look at it. Oh my gosh. Why did I take profit? Oh my god. What a boner candle, man. Holy shit. Oh my god. Right through that 60. Be careful here though. We do know 60, 63, and 70 is resistance. 70 is that level of resistance as well, so be careful there. And again, how can I prove to you that 70, 72 is going to be a level of resistance? Well, very simple, actually. You can just, kind of take a step back. You need to kind of take a step back and analyze the bigger time frame. You can see this is a 15-minute chart I got pulled up here. We got stuck at 68 pretty much on Monday at 10:30 yesterday for about 15, 30, 45, arguably 1 hour in this level where we got stuck. We also got stuck right at 70, 72 here for pretty much from 7 in the morning all the way back from Sunday at 9:30 p.m. So these are going to be levels of resistance, right? Again, does that mean it's going to likely, work on the short side? Maybe, maybe not. But one thing I do know is this, that every time I want to short strength or this type of move, this guy over here does not like it. This guy, you see the horns? I don't want to get his horns. So I'm going to short weakness, as I mentioned on my plan on the Discord, which, by the way, this will be your infomercial of the day. As I mentioned exactly on Sunday, that we were likely inside of what's called a chop range between 58.63 and 58.30 until elections. I mean, can you argue it with me? Like, look at this. This is Sunday or Friday. This was Monday, and this is Tuesday. We're exactly above 25.30, which is the level I gave out yesterday, talking about how it was going to be major key level of support. And now we're squeezing through the 60, so we're likely going to test the top of the range, which is that 75, but I don't know yet. But again, that is the free 100% community. You are more than welcome to join. And there's no inside purchases. That's what's the best. Buenos dias, Antonio. Well, I already made my trade. I'm already happy with that trade. Something else I kind of want to point out here. So we're talking about 60 to 63 resistance, right? And look at this. So it's simple. When we have a boner candle like that, it's not to be shorted. Please don't be shorting here. I mean, it could work. It could easily, dump on back down here. But if you're going to short that, I might as well send you my bank account. You know what I mean? Just give me the money. Like, at least you'll know it's going somewhere, somewhere good. Whereas here, you know where it's going. It's going into the hands of smart money, basically. I don't know where we're going to get denied. That's why it's so crucial to short ES on weakness. We cannot short ES on strength. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You're going to be a loser majority of the time. Right now, yes, as a boner candle as this was, I would still rather long this thing on any pullback towards the 60 and then looking for the continuation of the move higher. The trend is your friend. Never forget. And right now, even though we've had 2 weeks of downwards directional price action, does not mean that we are down trending. It means we're on pullback mode. And in every pullback, you have short squeezes. Hence, the word short squeezes. The market takes the stairs higher. It likes to take the stairs higher. And then it likes to take the elevator down. Can I prove this to you? Can I prove what I'm saying? Yes, I can. Look at the big picture view. This is the daily chart I have for you. Tell me that this does not look like a stair step. Look, you have the stair, the step, you have the push, the stair, you have another little kind of push, and then boom, the elevator down. Okay, can I prove it further? Can I prove it further? Yes, I can. You can see here. Whoops. And this is the daily chart, by the way. If we pull up like the hourly, it's even worse. But yeah, you can see here we have, look at this. Can you, I don't think, let me draw this better. You have the stair, you have the stair, you have the step. We're building the stairs, we're building the stairs, we're building the stairs. We're building the nice little push. We get rejected up there, and then elevator pretty much down. I don't want to look at the chart. I'll be honest. I don't want to look at it. I know it doesn't show up on the screen, but I don't want to pull it down here. Oh my god. Look at this, 60 to 63. We've been talking about 60 to 63 for a very long time now, okay? These are not fresh levels. You know, you shouldn't be surprised, but look at this. We know this level is resistance, 60 to 63, right? We squeeze and we do the second part of the squeeze. We back test a level of resistance. This is a big area, right? 60 to 63. But I would have rather long at 60. But nonetheless, the top of that resistance was 63. So from 63, it already gave us to the next level of resistance, which is the 70. Look where we're kind of not getting stuck, but we're pulling back right from 70. So every little resistance could potentially pull us back. We just don't know how much. That's why it's important not to guess. These are like little speed bumps. I picture them as like little speed bumps. Picture yourself driving in a car and then you come across resistance. You're like, oh, little speed bump, right? We don't know which one's going to be the big one. But if the bulls are very motivated here, my God, we're going to break through that 70. We'll see. And like I mentioned, do not be shorting here. Don't short this thing. I was going to take the long, but at 60. I wanted 60. We only got 63, so you know what I mean? I know what happens if I take the long at 63. We pull back to 60. Look, I knew we were going to go higher, okay? Hence why I was long down there. But duck me, man. No pullback, just straight higher and higher and higher. This is the part that pisses me off about the market sometimes. And then you know that there are those trades where I've done here plenty of times where I'm like, we're going to blow right through the 60. I'm going to hold this thing. We get to the 60, we touch it, I don't take profit, it pulls right back to the 50. And then today, it's going to the 60. Lock it in. Lock in at 60, Leo. And then boom. Right towards the 71, 72 now. I mean, it's killing me a little bit because it's like, yeah, I'm trying to like, I mean, I'll never know which one's going to be the move that does this, right? But the important key thing, I think, for me to kind of take home is this right here. This bounce from this 48, 51, this bounce from exactly a middle of the range level of support, right? And there was a small gap as well, remember, at the 47, which we didn't fill. I'm not saying it's gonna get filled. All I'm saying is that, you know, this is why it's very important to trade price, not gaps or indicators or anything like that. Because, you know, it doesn't longevity of your trading shouldn't depend on gap fills. Right now, what I'm seeing here is a nice potential trap to the upside there. You have 70 level of resistance. We squeezed through. We got back into the range. Do you guys see that? Again, I am not shorting this because I do not short strength on ES. But can you see that? That is how a trap basically becomes a trap, where you have a level of resistance. You squeeze through it. You get back into the range. It's the same thing, just backwards. This is exactly the same thing that we had yesterday where I was long. It's exactly the same thing. All it is just backwards. Now the question is, can the bears pull off the V for victory backwards? I'm telling you, it's the same thing. Again, I'm not shorting this little trap to the upside here. There's no way I'm shorting this thing. I'm just saying, if we end up pulling back towards the 60 and head on even lower, I am not going to be surprised one single bit, because I'm going to understand that the trap has now been laid right here and it's flashing us in the face right now. So we don't need to guess the reversals. Holy shit, they are doing the V for victory. The bears are back. For how long though? Well, right now I would say if you're on the bearish side, if I was shorting that trap there, I would need to see that 60 get broken to the downside. It becomes the game that we were playing before, backwards basically. We were long 50 or whatever. I was long this, I forget now, 49, 50. We wanted to see that 60 get touched and broken. Well, it just broke to the upside. So now, with the trap at the upside, they need to see that 60 get broken to the downside. But likelihood, we are not going to break the downside. Likelihood, we're probably going to bounce from 60 and then continue pushing higher. Hence why the trend is your friend. And this is why I believe the trend is still pointing higher, because, well, this trap is not going to work in the end. We'll see. I don't know. I got to admit, though, I have no idea who's going to win later, what the market is going to do. Just follow the price. That's all I'm going to tell you. Follow the price. Below 25.30, we likely build a big or a bigger leg to the downside. You don't need to guess when the sell is going to be coming in. See right here, this is the key level, 25.30. 57.25 fails, we build a leg to the downside. If it doesn't fail, well, then we're not building a leg to the downside. Can I tell you a conspiracy of mine? This is a conspiracy, okay? I'm not trying to predict that we're going to go lower. Not at all. Usually, sometimes. What would you see this doji candle and the daily candle here? Okay, if you guys can see that there. Can you see that little doji there? Try to kind of zoom it in. Usually, not always. The way that we break out to first is the wrong way, in my opinion, that we're headed. So it kind of becomes like a trap. I know that people use dojis to kind of get an idea of where market is headed, but I look at them the opposite. I don't know why I kind of got to this conclusion, but I look at them the opposite way. Sometimes people look at the doji candles as like a way to know which way the market is breaking, right? Because the doji candle represents indecision in the marketplace, right? That's what the doji candle means. So, for example, you can see here we had like this doji candle here. Pretty much looks like a doji candle there. And we broke to the upside first, and then we had lower. Even this kind of doji candle here as well, we broke to the upside first, headed lower. Created two more doji candles, broke to the upside, headed lower. Look over here to the downside. We have this very clear doji candle here. We broke to the downside first, and then we headed higher. Up here, we have this doji candle here, kind of like an inverted hammer maybe, or whatever, this kind of like body in the middle here candle, we broke. We attempted to break to the upside first, and then we headed on lower. Look at this other one here. See this one here? We created this doji candle here. We broke to the downside first, and then we squeezed on higher. So again, like, I'm not trying to say that we're gonna go lower, but this looks to me like a doji candle, and we are trying to break out of it to the upside first, which could mean, if the conspiracy works, that we're headed lower after the elections. I'm just saying, this is a conspiracy, okay? You take this with a big grain of salt. But like I said, anything I kind of tell you, I can prove to you, right? I mean, I'm not saying that that's proof that every doji candle goes the opposite way. No, this is for entertainment purposes only, but I'm just telling you, like, it's a conspiracy of mine. The more I look at the daily chart, the more it looks like it works. You know what I mean? Like, we get a doji candle, we break up, and then we go lower. We get a doji candle, we break down, we go higher. Right now, it looks like we want to break up. That means we could be heading lower. Nonetheless, we're going to find out here tomorrow when I come on the stream. If we are lower and we're attempting this push higher, that doji conspiracy does have some backing, and you got to agree with it. You know what I mean? Like, people want to trade patterns. Well, that's a pattern that I'm thinking about. Because people use doji candles as indecision indicator. Like, whichever way we break, we go, right? Well, I look at it the opposite. Whichever way we break is the trap. Whichever way we break first is the trap. And I'm pretty much getting ready to almost... No, I'm not going to say that, but I was going to say I'm almost getting ready to break this computer. Look at this thing. We're at the 74. Oh my God. Please don't short this thing. As mentioned, there's a little trap there. Begins the pullback. Again, it holds 63. I would have longed at 60, but I would have not longed here at 63. Because I know if I long 63, the ducking thing goes to the 60. If I don't long the 63, the ducking thing does this. So it's that kind of in the middle where I don't know what to do anymore. If I long, I'm screwed. Because I got to hold through the drawdown. If I don't long, I'm screwed because I missed on the move. I got to stop speaking these words into existence. I keep on probably jinxing myself on those things. But anyways, don't short this thing as mentioned. If you want to short it, just send me your money. I'll go gamble it away later on when I leave. You're better off looking for longs. Longs, 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 longs. Longs, baby. You can FOMO long right now, and it's still a better short than a short. I would rather FOMO long this thing than short this thing right now. I am not telling you to do this at all, okay? That is so irresponsible. But I'm just saying, like, I would not short the choo-choo train. So please, don't long this. There was maybe a long here, but again, the more you're looking at the long side here, like trend line breaks and stuff like that, they can work, but they're very aggressive. It's gonna, you know, the risk of you getting long after we've already rallied is much, much higher. What you need to be focused on, instead of, if you didn't make, you know, anything and you didn't get on this choo-choo train move, don't be upset at it. Let it go. Tomorrow's another day. But what you should really be doing today is trying to understand this. Okay? You always want to understand the market at the beginning of the move. This is what I'm talking about, the traps, support, and stuff like that. We don't want to worry about this. You know what I mean? Like, this is out of our hands. We could have rallied like this, and it would have been perfectly fine. Okay? We could have rallied like this. It would have not mattered. As long as one key thing held, which is 50 freaking 1. That is all that needs to happen. 51 needed to hold, and it did. So with that knowledge, you can assume we're going to go to that next level of resistance, which is the 60. So this is where your time needs to be spent. Right here. Right here. Forget about this. This is nonsense. The rest is BS. It's why am I saying that? Because we never know which move is going to move like this. And we don't have to know. What we have to know is when to get in. When is the market flashing for us? Hey, like get in. Like that's what we need to learn. The traps to the downside. Look at yesterday's trade that we pulled off here, down here. Even this in itself, you saw the dump, you see the pump. Where is the action? Right here, right there. It's calling us right here on this trap right there. Okay, but this is the trap that we got, that I got on the stream here yesterday. Right here. Look at the designs are still there. This is the trap. Remember that 40 was exactly the number that we bounced from on Sunday's low. So all I did was wait for that little flush below 40, which flushed to 38.50. So that's well within my strategy. I always say 3 to 5 points is a healthy margin for a trap to the downside. So all I do is I simply wait for that to get flushed, reclaims, take the long, and then look at the beautiful beginning of that move. We don't want to trade up in this BS. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do this. We want to know this. Yes, sometimes you can get caught. But look at this. You are learning the beginning of the moves of the market. This is how the market begins all its moves. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I kind of do, but it grabs liquidity right to the downside. But what I'm saying is, the machine was made like that. Why exactly, I don't know. But yesterday we had a trap to the downside at the 40. This is another key thing why I was bullish today. You cannot miss this. Hear me out. Hear me out for a second. We had a trap to the downside. Number one. Works, right? We break down that trap and then we get another trap below a major level of support. An extremely major level, okay? Very important level here. This is what I talked about yesterday. 57, 25, 30 needed to hold, okay? So when we trap to the downside and we hold major key levels of support, where do you think I'm going to assume the price today is likely headed from the middle of the range? If I know the traps are to the downside, we're going up, up, up. We're not going down because we already did the trapping yesterday. Yesterday is the beginning of the story for today. But if you don't understand yesterday's story, you don't understand today. I know that sounded very preachy, okay? But you need to understand that ES is a book. ES is a book that never ends. And the story from yesterday tells you the story of ducking today. Oh my God, we're at 82. Oh my gosh, man. Why do I freaking take profit? Again, don't short this thing. Please. I cannot stress this enough. Do not short this. A FOMO long, even right now, I would still argue that the FOMO long is still better than a short. Don't short this thing. Avoid it. If you short this thing, no, I don't want to say it. Just don't do it. In order to identify the areas you took a trade yesterday, you plot the low high of the daily chart. So in order to plot my levels, I always go to a big time frame first. So that would be like a daily or an hourly chart the night before. So when markets close or the night before, where the market is not too volatile and I don't build any bias towards price. And second, I wake up in the morning and I can adjust some extra levels of I guess support and resistance, right? So for example, let's assume that we closed here at 83. I'll give you the example. We closed at 83, right? Well, I know that resistance is going to be right here at 85, right? If we had closed here. So resistance is going to be 83 to 85. pretty simple to kind of understand that concept here, right? So if this is resistance, right, I'm going to be looking back, okay, where did we bounce from? Support. Well, we have 63. We have this potential, maybe 66. So what I'll do is I could be pushing potentially depending on how much bounces. Again, this is a 2-minute chart, right? So I don't do my analysis on a 2-minute, but let's assume that this was an hourly. I would go like this. Well, now we have a key level of support at 63 towards 66. And then all I do is really wait for a little flush below that 63, wait for the reclaim, and then back on up. If, of course, this is a hypothetical scenario, assuming that it was an hourly chart or a daily chart, and we had closed at this level. And then I would know 83, 85 is resistance. And then let's assume during the nighttime, we kind of poked it one time, and then we kind of get denied. We're coming back to it again, we get denied. And then during the day, we get the trap to the downside here. I know at this point that this level here is going to be weak because we already tested it twice, 3 times, and we got the sell-offs from there, but they weren't able to break down support, which then tells me we likely break resistance. And that's why I'm, always kind of banking in on the idea of resistance getting broken rather than support getting broken. I know it's kind of weird. I know it doesn't, I don't know if it makes sense, but I hope it does. I mean, but at the end, we're going to be trending higher. We don't need to be pushing this much. This is the thing that kind of bothers me, right? Where we push higher like this, but we don't feel FOMO towards this. We never could have known that this was going to push like that straight up. Our bias needs to be built that we are going to either go down or lower from what level? From this level, okay? But we should never build a bias that we're going to go straight up. The moment you start to think that all your trades are going to go straight up is the moment that you're going to potentially wreck your own plan. Today is working like a charm, like beautiful. But the market does not need to do this. This whole move that it just did in the first hour, we could have done it all day and it would have still been a very, bullish, good thing, right? But again, we cannot tell the market how to move. We will never know how the market will move. No one can tell you. Anybody that tells you that they knew that was going to go in a straight up line, they're lying to you. All we need to do is simply understand this. That if we can understand this, the more you can understand that, and I know I keep repeating myself, but the more you keep on understanding this, the more it's inevitable that you will catch these moves. We just squeezed to the 90. Don't short this, please. Do not short this. The dollar's finally showing some strength. Maybe now we start to get some pullback on ES. We'll see. The dollar is going straight to the moon right now. I don't know if someone's speaking or if someone said anything, but the dollar is going straight up right now. Look at this. So this is the SPY chart right now. You're looking at the bottom here. The dollar DXY is the middle chart, and NQ is at the very top here. All 3 of them are going straight up now. Before, on this rip that ES was doing, the dollar was kind of pulling back. You can see the weakness here on the dollar. Again, I don't use this as an indicator. They're kind of correlated, I find sometimes. So you can see we're kind of pulling back on the dollar, right? We're pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. And ES was pushing, 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 pushing. Or the SPY was pushing, pushing, pushing. Now the dollar is showing a lot of strength. Perhaps ES is going to be pulling back now. Of course, don't use that as an indicator that we're pulling back now. I'm just Just saying they could be correlated. Sometimes they work like this, but the only level I would be confident in shorting would probably be 58.42 to 58.44. And that is almost 100 points higher. So as you can tell, I'm not really gonna do much here. I already got my trade in for the day, and something else. One trade I've done all day. I want to show that you don't need 10 trades to make 10 points or 15 points. Just need one trade. That's it. One trade. Trading should be pretty boring. If you're feeling like a race car driver, like how I used to feel, I think that you're doing it wrong. Unless, of course, you're that type of person that that does flourish in that type of environment where you want to trade 10, 20 times a day, and your mental capacity is capable of that. Mine is not. I'll admit it. I don't care. Make fun of me if you want. After 9:30, I mean, after 10:30, my mental state just goes downhill, and I just want to get out of here. You know what I mean? I've already traded since 7 in the morning till 4 p.m., overnight studying, and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. I don't want to give you the whole story or the speech, but I've already put in a lot of effort. I still need to put in a lot more effort. I'm not saying I'm perfect, because I am not. I still have a long way to go. But what I'm saying is I now have enough data on myself that I can tell you after 10:30, there's really no business for me to be doing here, because I'm just going to get back profits or whatever it is. And I'm actually grateful for that because I can know that I can come here, I'm done by 10:30, and yeah, I mean, go out and enjoy life. Get out of here. The goal of trading when I started was to become financially free, financially independent, and most importantly, to earn my freedom back. Because when I was in my 9 to 5 job, plus overtime, barely seeing my family and barely seeing my kids, well, I wanted to spend more time with them. So, how the hell can I do it? Well, first, you need to study, right? And I didn't start trading to be here all day, every day, to try and, you know, well, look at this little pullback. We're gonna wait for this to break, and then we're gonna basically, get long. Like, no, this is ridiculous. This is all one move. We need to analyze the beginning of this move. What I need to do better, and this is why I say I need to get in heavier here and then leave a runner going. That's the only way I could have done this better. Leaving one runner going. Obviously, I would be. I even think that's a perfect scenario for me. Can you imagine just being long 30 points and being like, yeah, keep going? I have been long 30 points, but on minis. Sorry, micros. On micros is a lot easier to manage risk. That's right, 2 contracts instead of one. But even 2 contracts, I find it triggers me a little bit. Why? Because let's assume that, I'm up 15 points, right? So I'm up, what's that? Up almost 1500. I kind of want to take it at that point. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if I don't take it and then that runner breaks even, so then I only make 750, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I was just up 750. I mean 1500. So it kind of starts to get to me too. And that's what I mean. I'm not a perfect trader. I need to work on myself on that aspect. Like, I'm okay with giving some profits back on the break even, but then it's not every day that this is gonna move like this either. So I understand that, and therefore I kind of just accept it. You know what I mean? But yes, I do need to start leaving runners because these moves are just too good to kind of get out early. You know what I mean? Like, it's the same trade, and I feel foolish trying to get long here, right? Even sometimes when I do some bad things and I'm like impatient or I'm trying to take reclaims, very aggressive longs, and I do end up with some losses, right? My losses are small relatively to everything else, right? But that I'm happy about. Like I'll see some streamers and stuff like, yes, obviously their losses, their wins are relative to their account, not mine, much bigger. But like there's a couple people where I'll see like well, sometimes when I'm snooping around, like big losses, right, relative to what they normally win. It doesn't really add up or make sense. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like even if you're trading for 1-to-1, like if you're risking 150 and you're taking profit in at $200, I don't know if that's really a good strategy. You know what I mean? I like risking my 2 points. This today, I only needed to risk 2 points on my entry today. That was it. 2 points. And look at the potential reward of 2 points. It is over 30 at this point. 51. Yeah. Pretty right over 30. So that's where, that's where I get excited. That's where I want to be with the strategy. Support resistance gives you that potential 30, plus points. And technically, I'll be honest, I should have been long from yesterday. I should not have been long even here at this 54. We talked about that key level of support yesterday. You can rewind the tape. There. You can rewind the tape about me talking about this level here, 25 to 30. I said I want to be long that area instantly. You can rewind what I said. The stream is still up there yesterday. I said I want to be long there instantly. And that's exactly where we bounced from, and we squeezed like 30 points higher. We chopped around all night. And then from the 50, we're simply continuing from the same bottom level of support. So in theory, I could have still been long from down there and should have been long from down there. Again, yes, this is a little hindsight, could have, would have, should have. But what I'm trying to get at here is the main point, which is your analysis needs to come from big time frames. That's the only way that you're going to get to see these big levels of support and resistance. You cannot do it on a 1 minute, a 5 minute, even a 15-minute time frame. You just cannot do it. They're not reliable enough. All right, I think I'm pretty much done though. I'm gonna maybe do a video here. I haven't done one in a while, and I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna see what happens. Remember my conspiracy. Look at this. We have now officially broken to the upside. You can see this here, this doji candle. We broke to the upside first. I want to leave this on the stream here because if tomorrow we're like at 57.20, we broke down that level of support. The conspiracy worked again. I'm not shorting this. I'm not gonna leave no overnight short. I'm not gonna be shorting. This is for fun entertainment for me only, just to see if it works. So I'm gonna be done. Again, I wish you, I guess, luck depending who your candidate is or who you want to vote for. That is entirely up to you. I actually like that you guys didn't fight over in the chat as well, because I know politics can get very heated very quickly. Okay, this is why I came with a white flag today with a white shirt. I want to be in peace. I don't want to trigger anybody in the chat. But if you're on Team Trump or Team Kamala, I wish you both luck. And let's trade price. Do not try to guess this thing. Let's just trade price. If you want to know exactly, I'll be doing I don't know, maybe we'll see. I might do like a stream or a live call maybe later on. We'll see what I kind of get in the mood to do. We'll be doing it over here on the community. And it's all free. There's no in-app purchases. You're never going to be billed anything. So even if I do a call there, or I have done calls there in the past, it's all free. Nothing will ever be charged to you. If you want to be part of a growing community where we're all talking about technical analysis, well, it's free. And yeah, actually, I fumbled it today and I didn't put this there. I didn't even realize. That's the link if you want to join. I forgot to post it up this morning, but it's there on the chat now if you're interested. So I'm going to be walking away. Where it looks like we're turning 81 into support. I would not trust this just yet. But yeah, I'm going to be waiting. Because after this massive rally, I need to wait, for something to happen. I need to wait for some more volatility to the downside first. I'll be watching that 60 level. If we can trap below 60 or around 60, I'll probably be taking a long there. But it depends how the action is arriving here as well. So don't FOMO long. And try not to short the choo-choo train. There's really nothing to be doing up here for me right now. So I'm going to walk away. Thank you all for tuning in. If you do want to help grow the stream, though, what I will ask you for is that like button. Kind of looks a little bit dead. So if you want to hit it. It'll help grow the stream with the algos. The algos are these mystical creatures that push the streams. So, all right, I'm going to walk away. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a good rest of your day. And remember, just feel grateful. Whatever happened here, we can always learn from it. And there's no need to have any emotion towards this. Whether you made money, lost money, walk away in peace from your desk. So I'm done. Ciao.